Howdy y'all, got the Bulldog on the channel. Somebody had a bad day, so now we're having a bad day because we got to deal with their bad day. I'll go out and show you. We've got to put this vehicle up on the lift, and you know, that's not a big deal. You just pull it right on in, right? Right? You just pull it right on in right there. Let's go take a look at it. I call it the Canary because it might be dead. They had a bad day, but we've got to get it into the shop there, and yeah, we're gonna fork it up and chain it on there and drag it in. Well, wish us luck. Well, that's par for the course. The car's fine. We blew a cylinder seal on that tractor, and now we have no forks. So we've got a front end loader for the little tractor, and hopefully it'll do it. All we got left. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to pick up one side of it and try to put a ski underneath this side, which we have done before we had the loader. It is not fun, but you do what you got to do. We tried hooking it with the little tractor. All it did was pick the back of the tractor up off the ground, so that went over like a fart in a diving helmet. So now we're doing some redneck stuff. We took a bracket and put it in alongside the pin for the center cylinder, and we've got a come along now hooked to the top of the rack to hold back on the forks. Well, it's in here. We're gonna jack it up and go the final route because we don't have the room to back that loader up against the wall. Of course, now we got a gigantic puddle of oil where it just continues to run out of that cylinder, but at least with the come along Jenko hookup, we were able to get it in here. That little tractor just, it didn't have the hind end to do it. So that's how we end up having to do things. Car's centered up pretty good. I mean, see there and there. I'm not gonna be too picky. It just has to be close. We just cleaned this floor, just today. About how it goes. Other shops might do it a different way. I was gonna try to build a ski, but it's already 7 or 8 o'clock at night and I'd like to go home. I think there's more stuff waiting for me at home, but that's just how it is. Just for some backstory on this car, the customer told us that something broke and they ran off the road. Then I saw the car and no, it broke when you ran off the road. And this is why it's so difficult to do an estimate on these jobs, is because you're looking in there and you're thinking, okay, how much is broken? What can be replaced? What we did on this job is the bent inner and outer tie rod ends. I don't know if the outer tie rod end is bent. We're replacing it anyway. It's too cheap not to do. Got the inner tie rod end bent. We're getting a new tie rod end, new brake hose because it stretched it out pretty good. We don't want to risk anything. And a new stabilizer link just because it's that cheap. It's bent, not broken. I'm not going to bend it back. I'll just replace it. And everything else, lower control arm bent, the steering knuckle broken, wheel bearing, I'd never trust it. I mean, it broke the knuckle in half around the wheel bearing. The strut might or might not be bent. We're not risking it. And the axle, everything landed on the axle, ripped the axle out apart. So we're not trying to put that back together. We got all those parts used. Because when you start, we got all of those used parts. The control arm with a ball joint in it, the steering knuckle with a wheel bearing in it, the strut, all of them for the price of a wheel bearing used. So we're going to go that way. The car doesn't have to be pristine. They actually asked, is it worth fixing? Yes it is. You don't want to go too far in these old cars, but you also don't want them to go trying to replace a car for what they're going to spend in parts to fix the old one, and then end up with a piece of junk that they constantly spend money on later. This one, at least it was a good car to begin with, ish. At least it runs and drives. You know, Chevrolet 3800 engine. They're not bulletproof. They're bullet resistant. But if you hit a ditch doing however fast they were going, nothing can survive some things. But this is next week's project. Hopefully it goes all right. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.